At 5:12 a.m. on April 1st, 1945, the island of Okinawa was still dark. The sea was calm. The wind barely touched the grass, and for a moment, it felt like the world was holding its breath. But for the young Marines waiting offshore, that quiet was a warning of the storm of fire, steel, and screams that would erupt within hours. One of the bloodiest battles in U.S. history. This is what Okinawa sounded like through the memories of the Marines who survived it.
The Marines expected hell on the beaches. They expected machine guns roaring from every ridge. They expected waves of mortars raining down. But instead, they heard nothing. The landing was silent, too silent. No gunshots, no explosions, only the crunch of boots on sand and the steady hum of landing craft pulling away. A Marine named Howard Red Mallory later said, "It felt like walking into a dead man's dream." The island wasn't quiet, it was waiting.
The Japanese army, dug deep into caves and tunnels, allowed the Marines to land without resistance. They wanted the Americans trapped inland, where artillery and machine guns could do their worst. The silence shattered. The first sound was a deep, distant boom from a hillside 2 miles away, then another and another. Mortars began walking across the fields like metal footsteps. Private Mallory remembered, it was like the island woke up angry. Veterans say Okinawa didn't sound like a battle. It sounded like several wars happening at once. Incoming mortar whistling, outgoing naval guns hammering the cliffs, flamethrowers roaring like dragons, the clicking of Japanese knee mortars, the howling wind carrying the screams, and the constant crack of rifles. One Marine said, "The ground made noise. It moaned every time a shell hit. You didn't stand on dirt. You stood on something alive and angry." If the day was chaos, the night was terror. The Japanese attacked after dark. You'd hear movement in the grass, slow, deliberate, a twig snapping, someone whispering in a language you didn't understand. Then a sudden scream. Artillery flares lit the sky like brief, false suns, revealing shadows climbing the hills. Okinawa wasn't just a military battle. It was a tragedy. Civilians were trapped between two armies. Marines reported the sound of families running through the night, barefoot over broken stone, the cries of children echoing inside the caves, and the desperate pleas of the wounded calling for medics. By June 1945, after 82 days of fighting, the island was scarred beyond recognition. Hills were burned black, villages were gone, entire ridge lines had been erased by naval shells. But the sounds never stopped. Machine guns rattled until their barrels glowed. Corpsmen yelled for stretchers. Bombs fell like rolling thunder.
And finally, the gunfire thinned, then faded, then silence returned. Not peace, just silence. When veterans were asked what Okinawa sounded like, most didn't describe weapons. They described emotions, fear, determination, brotherhood, and the weight of knowing that survival was not guaranteed. For the Marines who fought there, Okinawa was not just a battle. It was a sound they carried for the rest of their lives. The war ended, one Marine said, but Okinawa never got quiet in my head.